Doesn't. Do you mind?
Are you interested in blacking out your tail lights on your ride? I'm about to do it on my old C10, and I'll take you step by step through my preferred method of doing it. So stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You can see the weather's nasty again, but I finally had a few warm days and sunny days over the last couple of weeks, and you know what they say, sun's out, guns out. Finally got to get this video mostly finished where I'm blacking out the tail lights on my old C10. Finally got it done, and now I'm going to show you exactly my preferred method of blacking out the tail lights. But in case you are new and you don't know me, really quickly, I am a wheelchair user, a hardcore car enthusiast, and here on this channel, I try to produce high quality car content that is entertaining, but I try to maintain as much authenticity as possible. So if you guys would like to tag along and you think that's interesting, feel free to hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you don't miss anything. But anyway, let's get right into this because the overall process that I'm showing you is a little bit lengthy, so I don't want to make this video too long. But I'm going to black out the tail lights using the nite-shades spray paint. I'm sure you've seen it before. I'll show you, exactly which products I'm using throughout the video, but just real quickly, to do this, you'll need some, I'll link it all in the description, show you exactly what I'm using, but the paint, some sandpaper. I like to use a box cutter or a utility knife to, trim around when I'm masking. You'll need masking tape and soap and water. But like I said, I'll show you exactly what I'm using throughout the video. But anyway, let's quit talking about it and I'll show you exactly how to do it coming up. Alright, so the tail lights on this thing are pretty new. They're not the LEDs, they're just the OEM replacement. Now I had the tail lights blacked out. I did this same process on the older, the actual factory tail lights. I'll show you a picture right now. As you can see, it's kind of, you may not be able to tell, but they were really rough, kind of cracked, and didn't look very good. But this one, these should look pretty nice. I don't like the chrome. I wish I would have got the ones without the chrome frame, but it'll still look pretty good. Alright, let's get these things off here. Alright, now the screws are gone. This should just pop out. We'll see. Oh wow, that was easy. Alright, so as you see, this is new as well. I got the entire housing, everything. When I replaced these, but I guess that doesn't matter. We can leave all this in here. So it's that easy. It's just the plate. Alright, so I have the tail light caps here. So you're gonna need, obviously, your tail lights, sandpaper. You don't have to use sandpaper, but I recommend it. I'm using 2000 grit, masking tape, and the first step is to wash your tail lights really good. Get them really clean, so you don't, that'll help about the paint sticking to it, but also it's important to clean it really well before you start sanding. So let's stick them in there and wash them off right now. Because I'm just going to wash them off in the sink. You can use just dishwashing soap. Just smear it a little on there, just wash it up, rinse it, dry it really well before you start sanding. So after you get it soaked up, make sure you get around the edges really good. Around the edges of the chrome, of course, depending on what type of lights you're doing. You'll have different areas you'll need to make sure you get. Then just rinse it off and dry it. And then you dried it up a little bit, but you don't have to worry about drying it completely because you're fixing to get it wet. Again, just make sure it's clean. So take the sandpaper out, just fold it up, make it nice and square, like so. And then take your dishwashing soap again. And then I just like to get like a bowl of water with some soap in it, and then just dip the sandpaper in it. So just put the soap in and fill it up with a little bit of water. That's probably enough. And then just dip the sandpaper in your soapy water and just sand around on the light everywhere that you're going to paint. Make sure you get the edges really good. Now, I'm not going to paint the backup lights, this clear part here. If you do paint those, it's going to make your backup lights basically unusable. They're going to be so dark that you won't be able to see. So I always mask this off and then just paint the red part. But you can do it either way you want. But I recommend leaving this unpainted because, like what I said, and it looks cool too. Once it gets painted and it's being clear, you'll see it'll look pretty cool. So I'm not going to show you the sanding. Obviously, it's kind of boring, but once I get done, I'll show you what it looks like. Just real quick, I'll show you. You don't have to do it too much. Just rub it. Don't put too much pressure. Just make sure, like I said, get around the edges really good. Be careful about doing the chrome. You don't want to scratch that up. And always make sure that you keep it really wet. Keep going back and forth. Often you don't want to let it get too dry because it'll make it scratch. It'll scratch it up too. Then after you get done sanding it, just rinse it off. Get all the excess soap off of it. I recommend drying it off really well. After you get done cleaning it, you don't want water spots or anything on the light when you start to paint it. I don't know how well you can see it, but you can tell that it has been sanded. It looks more dull now, and that's what you're looking for. You can see look, this is the other one that has not been sanded. See, it's more shiny, and then this one's more dull. This is what you want. Alright, I'm gonna do the other one, and then we'll start masking off the chrome and the backup light section. Oh yeah, and while I was sanding this one, I thought of something. Make sure you get your sandpaper down in the screw holes as well. That's easy to overlook. So make sure you get, around that really well. Alright, so I got it all sanded up. Now I'm gonna mask it off, like I said. I'm gonna mask off the chrome sections and the backup light. I'm not gonna show that. Obviously, you know how to put tape on something. So I'll come back when I get it done and explain what I used and how I did it. So I'm almost done masking them off. I've got that one finished. I just gotta do a little more to this one. Then we'll take them out and put some paint on them. So I know this is obvious, but I want to point this out really quickly. See how I didn't get the edges of the tape trimmed really well? Like they come up a little bit. Make sure you get, you trim it to where it's just covering the portion that you don't want paint on. Otherwise, it'll leave a little streak in the paint. I suggest using a utility knife or a box cutter, whatever you want to call it. But you can do it with any sharp pointed knife. So like I said, I'm using the VHT nite-shades paint, and then I got that little spray gun to help kind of take better control of the spray can. So I actually have my mom here. I'm gonna let her do the painting. I'm not very good at spray painting. She's actually pretty good at it, so I like to put them side by side and paint them at the same time, so you can make sure to get it even. You don't want one darker than the other. So you put, just go ahead and put the first little coat on. Alright, so that was the first little coat. I think we got a little too much on this one on the right, but you get the idea. You want to make sure that they are even. Here's what you're gonna have to make up your mind about it. Depending on how dark you want them will depend on how many coats you put on it. If you just want them smoked, you can just put a light coat on it. Like now you can see a difference already. But I want them black, so I'm gonna put quite a bit more paint on there. the wind's blowing out here, so I'm having to stop between wind gusts. Let's put a few more coats on there. Alright, so that time the wind cooperated a bit better, and as you can see, they really look different now. Now, like I said, you can stop now if you just want the smoked, look, or you can keep going. But, obviously, the darker you get, the less they're going to show up. But, since this is on a truck that I don't drive on the street hardly ever, I'm going to go ahead and get them pretty dark. Alright, so I think that was 3 good coats, and the paint can suggests not going over 3 coats because of it making it too dark. And so as you can see, this is pretty dark, so you may want to stop right here. I'm going to go 1 more coat because, like I said, I don't drive this truck on the street hardly ever, so I'm going to do 1 more light coat and then I'll probably stop. Alright, so I don't know how many coats that was. I lost track. But basically just look at it, just do a coat, look, see how dark it is, and then decide if you need more. Like I said, I wanted them pretty black because I'm not driving the truck on the street. But I'm going to let it dry, and then we'll see what it looks like. It is a good idea to put a clear coat on them. I actually forgot to pick up the clear coat, so I'm not going to do it this time. But I had done it before, and it is a good idea. Okay, so here they are after a few days. The weather's been terrible, so I had to postpone this. But they look pretty good. Like I said, they are pretty dark. I haven't taken the paint off, or the tape off of this one yet, but like I said, the backup light area, it still shows really good, and I think it looks pretty cool anyway. I actually painted the lights, the old light caps on my C10 before, and I did paint out the backup lights, and it, like I said, it did obstruct it. But I'll put up a picture right now, show you what it looked like with the backup lights painted. But I think this looks just as good, and it still maintains some functionality, so I recommend doing it this way, but you can do whatever you want, obviously. But anyway, let's get them on, see what it looks like. Alright, so we got them on there. I haven't tightened down the screws yet. I need to paint the screws. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. It's in the sun a little better, you can see. You can still see some red. I'll go ahead and turn them on now and see how good it shines through. Okay, so here it is without the tail lights. And there it is with the tail lights. Of course, it's really bright out here, so this doesn't really count, but you can't hardly see it at all. And then we push the brake, and there we go. You can see it a little bit, but not much. But of course, this is during the day. So like I said, this is probably too dark for, a street driven truck, so you might want to go a coat or 2 less than this. Alright guys, so there it was, like you saw. I got mine pretty dark. As I kept saying, you may not want to get them that dark if you're going to be driving on the street very much. But yeah, again, everything I used and recommend is, listed in the description. Yeah, that's about it. Hey, stay tuned though. Coming in the next week or so, I've got another cosmetic mod I'm going to do to the rear of the truck. I think you'll like that. But if you like this, and you found it helpful, go ahead and support the channel, hit that like button, and again, subscribe if you're new, and if you want to watch another video, I'll link it right over here, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.